welcome back. This might be a fairly short broadcast. I did a layer of white while we were waiting, and I'm ready to do my next glaze. And I've decided to do a layer of purple, magenta, raspberry color for you non-artists. Especially over here, this is going to be a very green, I should say slightly green, not very green. That flower arrangement. Anyway, I'm looking ahead, and one of the concerns I have for this painting, again, because let me show you the room if you weren't here earlier. I'll turn the camera around. It's a very, hello Heather. It's a very, very, very warm environment. Beautiful, as you can see, but a real challenge to paint. So one of my concerns is that I'm going to end up with a painting that's just too monochromatic. So I'm thinking if the painting is going to be mostly warm when it's done, then I better find a place to insert some opposite side of the color wheel. Thus the purple. But at the same time, I want some zinger interest. So I've added the magenta, carmine. I don't even know exactly what color it is. It could be permanent rose. I don't know if I'm going to let that drip stay or not. We'll find out. That's a lot of spattering, probably too much. But I'll stare at it for just a minute. Grab a paper towel here. Yeah, don't want that coming right there. So now I'm painting with a rag, right? Anytime you pick up a rag to paint with, you just have to keep your painter on. Don't slip into Mr. or Mrs. Eraser, right? You're still painting. You're just painting with a rag. And if you let yourself get into eraser mode is grumpy, because you're saying, I made a mistake and I'm blah blah blah. You know what I mean? You don't do that. It's the grumpiness of erasing that will make you screw up. So you don't do that. Just keep painting, but this time with a rag instead of with a brush. Very important distinction. Okay, now I'm going to also, while I am doing this purple magenta stuff, I'm going to draw with purple and magenta as well. Almost, looking at the chandelier over there, almost in a way, some of this magenta underpainting will behave somewhat like the traditional vermilion underpainted canvas. Are you familiar with that? I quite enjoy that effect. I don't do it very often, but even by doing this, I'm sort of doing a version of that. In other words, the red underpainting showing through. Okay, there's a bunch of drinks and candles on the bar. And I'm sorry if you're leaving chat comments right now. My back is completely turned toward you. I'm probably going to miss most of what you're saying, but I'll try to catch it before I finish the broadcast. So now I'm just drawing, and drawing again, at the moment, largely in red. And again, it's not red. When you're in the world of transparent colors, there's no such thing as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no such thing as transparent red. You have to switch to magenta, carmine, quinacridone red, permanent rose, any of those. But the cranberry, raspberry-ish red. Now, let me zoom in here just for a second. I think I can do that here. Can I do that? Yeah. Okay, so witness the way I just drew that cake. Sorry about the jerking. I drew it, sure enough, but it's overdrawn. So while it's still wet, I hope it's still wet. It's not wet enough. I bring a brush through it and just mess it up a little bit. I still have the benefit of the fairly careful drawing. You can still see the drawing, but it's not overly messy. Again, I'm not crazy about how that turned out. It was, I let it get too dry before I did that trick. I was just talking to Gene, the bartender, a little while ago. He might even make an appearance here in the painting. Part of my rationale for choosing red, also instead of say green, well, green's too close to yellow. The finished painting is going to be very warm. Let me repeat this. So I need to introduce some opposite end of the color wheel so that the thing doesn't just become a horrible orange fest. Do you know what I mean by that? Yes, it's going to be warm. There's going to be a lot of orange and yellow, but it needs to be an orange and yellow that has been built up through layers and layers of other stuff. And so this is the other stuff. And because these arrangements are going to have a lot of green in them, it made me think, well, red would be a good underpainting for the green. So that's kind of the school of thought. I'm very traditional, not unusual at all in the history of painting, to do an underpainting in the complementary color of what you think the overpainting is going to be, the finished painting. I could do. And again, I don't know what the bride and groom might look like, so there's not an awful lot I can do there. But I would like to have much of this much of the background at least roughed in before I have to worry about the bride and groom. And again, sorry YouTube, they're going to be sending me all kinds of letters telling me I've violated copyright. If I could turn off that music in the background, I would. They haven't given me authority to do that. And as I said earlier, I will broadcast as much tonight until it becomes socially awkward. I mean, these people are paying me, of course. Hello, Heather. Good, I hope you don't hear the music. Oh, it's not liking the painting, and I had it left it zoomed in. Let's try that. Thank you, Heather, for letting me know that. Okay, I'm probably at a stopping point here anyway. I need to let this dry, and after it dries, which won't take long, I think I can do another layer of white, and then I might be ready for the bride and groom. So I'll be back later tonight. Again, I want to balance showing you this process, balance that with not irritating people who get too many notifications. You're very welcome, Heather. Good to have you on my adventures. Did anybody else leave any comments while I was here? No. Oh, Heather, good to see you. Yeah, I can see the comments. Do I ever use bystanders to help with color? Yeah, I think I use bystanders for everything. I haven't tonight, but I think I'm often open to asking people, non-artists, for their 2 cents worth. Okay, thanks guys. I'll be back in a little while. Thanks so much for watching.